There may be a new Prime Minister in Downing Street with lots of new promises, but in Lincolnshire, campaigners fighting plans to house asylum seekers at RAF Scampton say they need concrete promises that those plans have been scrapped. Rishi Sunak caused outrage last year when he first announced the plans for the site, and since then protesters, local MPs and the council have tried to put a stop to them. They've told us today that the fight goes on. Here's Jake Zuckerman.
A full house welcomes a new Prime Minister. But outside Scampton this morning, things are a bit quieter.
Hello? Hello? Right, for weeks and weeks there were people camped out here protesting, and now everything seems to be locked up and abandoned.
Sarah Carter has been at the heart of the Save Our Scampton campaign.
It gives us a new hope, put it that way. Confidence we yet to see if we can trust these, because we couldn't trust the last lot that we're in. So yeah, a new hope.
My message is to Starmer is to please stick to your word. It's made the community feel very anxious knowing that 800 asylum seekers were coming here, and I don't want this feeling to continue much longer.
There have been many twists and turns in this story. The RAF moved out in March 2023 and plans to use the site to house asylum seekers were announced. The council then launched legal action against the Home Office. Despite a series of protests, first portable buildings were moved onto site that August. By the end of last year, the High Court had decided the asylum centre plans could continue. But a new Labour government have promised to scrap the plans. On the campaign trail, Sir Keir Starmer couldn't have been clearer.
Would you have put asylum seekers at RAF Scampton, former home of the Red Arrows and the Dam Busters?
No. What the government is doing at Scampton is likely to drive a coach and horses through a really important project.
Lincoln's new MP says the future of Scampton is a top priority for him.
Keir is obviously now the Prime Minister. I will go down to Parliament myself for the first time on Sunday, and it will be one of the very first things on my agenda.
Inside Scampton today, there are still signs of activity taking place. A spokesperson for the Home Office said, "We're determined to restore order to the asylum system so that it operates swiftly, firmly and fairly and ensures the rules are properly enforced." But people who live nearby say they just want to see the end to this 16-month saga that's caused them so much stress and upset. Jake Zuckerman, BBC Look North, Scampton.
Well, Trevor Young is the leader of West Lindsey District Council. They want to see a business park worth £300 million on the site. You know the story. He's joining us now. Mr. Young, good evening to you. How confident are you that the government will stick to their pre-election words about getting rid of Scampton for these asylum seekers?
Well, we are confident, and the fact that they've made these election promises numerous times during the election period, and we want to hold them to that commitment. And we'll do everything we possibly can to work with them in terms of exiting from that site.
I mean, people will know about this story. Let me just ask you this. How much has all this cost you so far in legal battles? Taxpayers' money, of course. Well,
the big thing for us as a local district council, we've made some brave decisions over the last 18 months trying to protect both the heritage and this £300 million development of the site.
Yeah, that wasn't actually the question, though, was it? How much of money has it cost in legal battles so far?
Well, up to now, it's cost us tens of thousands, and we don't hide behind that fact. We've taken some brave decisions.
How many tens of thousands?
Well, it's a numerous amount of tens of thousands. Today, we don't know the final cost. But it's a fight worth fighting.
It's actually wasted money, isn't it? Because had you known there was going to be a general election, no fight was needed.
No, it's certainly not a waste of money. The Tory government could have been re-elected. We're pleased that the Labour government's in place. And like we said, we've done everything we possibly can as a small district council to fight this. And I think we've done really well.
Have you spoken to the new government yet, by the way?
No, a letter's gone off today to the Prime Minister, and a letter's gone off to the Home Office, inviting them to meet with us as soon as we possibly can, and we welcome that meeting.
How much difference will it make having the whole site rather than losing the 10% for the 800 asylum seekers?
Well, we have to look at the impact what it's had on the local communities, the uncertainty over this last 18 months and the worry it has for the local residents. And the last government was absolutely dreadful on this. So we hope the Labour government brings a decision swiftly to the local area, makes that announcement, and puts that communication out to the local residents of what they intend to do.
So the £300 million investment, business park, whatever, heritage, it'll all go ahead now?
Well, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and that's why we've fought so hard to protect this site, along with the heritage of the site, and we'll do everything we possibly can to make sure that is delivered.
Good to talk to you tonight, Mr. Young. Thank you very much indeed for coming on. Wish you well.
Thank you.
Let me know what you think about this one. Do you trust the new government to fulfil their pre-election promise? The Home Secretary says she'll decide on the future of the current Home Office policies in due course. I quote there. Are you confident that the £300 million business park bringing jobs and investment to the area will now go ahead? What do you think about the money which has been spent? You heard my questions there to the leader. Do you trust the government to keep their word? And where should those 800 asylum seekers who were going to Scampton, where should they go? The email address is there, looknorth@bbc.co.uk. Follow me on Twitter, tweet now, or text 81333. 81333. Start the text with the word Look North. We'll have some at the end of the programme. Also tomorrow night, all evening to write if you want to. People have been allowed